Alrighty, I'll get to do a night of recording, which is always a fun thing for me to do because then I don't have to get up like super early and just record right away. But anyway, Dallas, OKC. Dallas just came back and played a very, very solid basketball game. It got a little bit sketchy there in the last like 5 minutes. OKC tried to put a little run on there, but PJ Washington told them to just shut the hell up and go away. So that was awesome. Can we just give first of all, a shout out to Derrick Jones Jr., who I feel like isn't getting nearly enough attention or praise in this series. I hear the announcers talk about it every once in a while, but just like the offensive game that he's playing, shooting well from three, playing great defense this whole time. Shout out Derrick Jones Jr. In this game went 7 for 9, only missed 2 3-pointers in the entire game, had 19 points, played great defense the entire time. PJ Washington got in foul trouble a little bit early too, giving some praise to him, and came back in and just really made a difference. There's a couple times defensively where I was a little bit confused because like he does pretty good about not jumping at closeouts. I personally hate in the NBA when they jump at closeouts. It's something like less than 1% of 3-point shots are actually blocked. And I just feel like it takes you out of the play. I'd rather just get a good closeout. I don't think it affects the dudes as much as people think that it might. So that's my philosophy on it. But anyway, this game was mainly dictated by the fact that Luka Doncic looked like he could move a little bit. He's still definitely like kind of lumbering around out there, but he at least started out hot and he played good defense the whole game, and that was a big thing for him. I also thought that OKC made kind of an odd choice in rotation by not playing Josh Giddey in the starting lineup, and I understand that like offensively he's had his struggles and everything in this series, but like I don't know. I just think Josh Giddey does a lot of other things well. He plays pretty solid defense. Like he's a connecting piece for things, and they still won with him on the court before. Like he obviously he had a good game today. He went 5 for 8 and had 11 points. I just thought it was kind of a weird move to go out and do that. Shea did his normal Shea thing, just got to the hoop, got his 30 points, and got out of there. Right. Those are the things that we're used to seeing out of him at this point. What I think was interesting at one point in the series or in this game, when OKC was just struggling to find anything because Dallas was kind of just keeping them at arm's length the entire time and just being like, you can't really get that close to us. What I thought was interesting is they opened up the offense a lot by moving Chet to the corner and in doing so, that takes guys like Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively out of the paint because OKC just didn't seem like they could get to the rim at all, and that's a lot of their offense is the drive and kick, right? And I thought that just one, like credit to like Luka, Kyrie was playing good defense again as well today, but Luka playing like solid defense and not just being a revolving door made it so that when they combine that with having a post presence down there and like a Gafford or a Lively, which is a benefit to having both those guys, it just made it really hard for OKC to get into their offense. But when they moved Chet to the corner, obviously having the center a little bit more outside the paint gave them an opportunity, and that's when they started to make a little bit of a run. We'll see if they make that adjustment going into next game as well, but I want to know what they do with the lineup. Like I like Isaiah Joe a lot, don't get me wrong. I think he'd be a starter on some NBA teams, but I don't know. I'd rather have Giddey out there. I rather would. And that's no shot at like anybody else. I just think Giddey has more of a role to play, and you just have to get a little bit creative with it at times. But otherwise, I felt that OKC just couldn't compete on the glass as much as they wanted to either. I'm still going to advocate for Dallas to play Daniel Gafford more minutes than what he's getting. I like Derek Lively a lot, playing really well. They're basically like identical stat lines of each other, which is really funny to look at. But I just think Gafford makes a stronger physical case against Chet. Like you can tell he's kind of out there to prove it a little bit more, and that's just what I value out there is like those second chance points. What do we have for second chance points in this game? Only 9 offensive rebounds versus 8, but then 25 to 37 on the defensive end, so a 51 to 40 rebound advantage is pretty crazy. And then a 27 to 20 assists. That's pretty interesting. Ooh, I just had like a whole coughing fit. Don't worry about it. I'm just crying over the beauty of playoff basketball. That's how we'll put it. Oh my gosh, maybe my voice is going. But anyway, looking forward to the next game, I'm curious nonetheless. I want to see how the young Oklahoma City Thunder team responds. I can almost guarantee you they're going to come out with a lot of energy. It's going to be at Dallas. I would have to imagine that Luke and Kyrie really put it on them to try to put it away next game. And one thing, this is what I want to see out of Kyrie, because I know he hasn't been scoring much lately. I'd like to see Dallas make a real point of emphasis to get him the ball and get him going early. That's just what a good coach would do, in my opinion, and I don't always trust what Jason Kidd is going to do out there, at least in terms of strategy. So I'd like to see something like that to try and get him going. Like maybe make him more the primary ball handler next game. I don't know. And I'd like for them to get back to kind of that really like, hey, early in the possession, let's try and get an early screen or something like that to really try and get guys going downhill. I am struggling to talk at this point, but you know what? I'm fighting through for you guys. But yeah, just some things I want to see going into next game. We're not going to spend a ton of time talking about Cleveland and Boston. I just don't necessarily think that it's worth it. No Jared Allen, no Karis LeVert, no Donovan Mitchell. The Cleveland Cavaliers lost. It was closer than I thought for a while, and by that I mean like 10, 11 points. I kind of thought they were going to get completely blown out. What did they shoot from three? Yeah, because they shot well from three, and they got up like a decent amount of attempts. Like they got up 31 attempts, made 41 of them. That's probably the best you could have asked for if you're Cleveland. Obviously, they were just out-talented at this point, and honestly, I think the story's more so going to be like, what do we do with this whole news that's coming out with like Garland and Mitchell maybe not wanting to play together or whatever. Maybe he wants to go somewhere else. So here's what you guys have to look forward to. Ideal offseason coming out tomorrow, Cleveland Cavaliers edition. We're going to explore that because if that's the report being put out right now, I don't think it'd be the worst idea to make Donovan Mitchell more of the primary point guard and they bring in a little bit of different talent. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah, shout out the Celtics in primary. Al Horford played an awesome game. Always good to see Al turn back the hands of time. Drew Holiday, again, just such a pleasure to watch play basketball. Just always making the right play. I absolutely love it. Did he have any turnovers this game? Because I feel like he had 3 turnovers. I felt like he had a couple in this game that were kind of like, but he's still just always so fun to watch. Otherwise, shout out Peyton Pritchard doing his thing again. Sam Hauser, again, being a big gravity guy for the team, I think is going to be crucial. When are we going to get Porzingis back? I don't know. Hopefully for the next series, but I mean, they get to play the waiting game now of like New York Knicks and Indiana Pacers. Like, who are they going to get to play next? Hopefully rest up a little bit. Hopefully Porzingis can come back in that series. If not, maybe it's the finals. I don't know. I'd like to think the Celtics can handle either team that comes up against them, but you never know. The Celtics like to make things interesting always. That's always their thing. But yeah, shout out Cleveland. It was a fun season nonetheless. Got some things to work on. It was a sad way for the season to end with all the injuries. What's it going to be in Boston? Hey, you took care of business. Congratulations. But yeah, I'm going to go before I keep choking again. I don't know why I struggled so much to get through this video. I'll be better for the ideal offseason tomorrow. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.